The Genshin Impact community has been abuzz with drama, misinformation, and personal attacks because Kenichi's voice was changed, so here's the story in 3 minutes to address the misconceptions. In the latest 5.5 update, Kenichi's original English voice actor, John Petnude, was replaced by Jacob Takanashi. This change occurred because John chose to withhold his services during what many thought was a part of the current SAG-AFTRA strike. However, it has since come to light that it is not a part of any official strike, and it is instead more akin to a personal boycott by a select group of union VAs. This has been aptly explained by Joe Zija, the voice of Riceley, who went into explicit detail that it is not an official strike, because MiHoYo has not signed a union contract. Rather, this is simply said group of VAs attempting to persuade MiHoYo into a union contract for the protections that come with it, and also to include AI protections, but that's an entirely separate matter. So with Jacob taking the role, he went on to make a post on Twitter about being honored to join the cast, saying, "Taking up the mantle of Malipo is a privilege, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous bearer, John, who did an incredible job." As Jacob felt this was a passing of the torch since he was a Japan-based VA who likely had no idea this personal boycott was occurring. John made it clear that this was not the case in a tweet of his saying, "I'd hoped that any progress behind the scenes would be made and I could come back safely, or that if recast auditions went out to my colleagues, wouldn't read them. Unfortunately, I was wrong." This tweet led to both fans and other VAs to criticize Jacob for taking up the role, with people like Karina Betger, the voice of Paimon, responding with, "This wasn't a passing of the torch." People, however, were quick to point out that Karina has been voicing Paimon despite being a part of SAG and being aware of this personal boycott by their colleagues. And while Karina acknowledged this, they excused it by saying that Karina needs their job as Paimon to aid them in paying for their disability and general living costs, as Paimon is a role that has them in the booth recording consistently all year long. What made matters worse, however, were fellow VAs like Kaylee, who tweeted, "This is one small job for him, not his full-time work. It's Karina's bread and butter, so it isn't what he's relying on to pay the bills. For all we know, his wife is a breadwinner. Either way, they bought a house recently, so I doubt it was a necessary job for survival." This comment and many others led to Kylie getting a ton of hate, death threats, and more for pocket watching Caleb, shining SAG and the personal boycott in a negative light in the process, all of which culminated in Kylie deactivating her Twitter account. This has sparked numerous debates and discussion amongst other VAs, YouTubers, and fans alike, with some Chinese netizens now pushing for MiHoYo to simply remove the English dub entirely. That's a short and to the point summary of how this all started and why, but for more updates regarding the situation, leave a like and subscribe. And if you want a more in-depth video, then check out Joe's YouTube video linked below. And please let me know your guys' stance on this situation.